Hello, interwebs. It's Nephente of NETHERBIRD, and looking a bit red in the face. I guess sunshine has hit me here in Stockholm City. It's like I said, it's Monday on the 22nd of June. Well, it's obvious to you guys watching now, but as it seems, quite a bit of the sort of audience of these little talks tend to find it afterwards on Facebook, and also some stray to the YouTube version. How are you guys doing? I am doing pretty good, I would say. Been streaming now this type sessions since middle of April, even a little bit earlier than that. It's 2 months in this sort of extraordinary circumstances of 2020, and I get asked whether I should keep it on, and fuck if I knew. I mean, for as long as everything else is pretty stale and nothing much is happening, then I feel it makes sense for me to do it, because there is, I have time, and it seems like a lot of you also have time to drop by and to listen, interact, and so forth. But I guess we will see when the day. Vladan, greetings, welcome. And cheers. I'm drinking Guinness again from a cider glass. Been criticized for that. I will amend it eventually. It will be a good day when I do. But in any case, as long as I have the time, you guys seem to have the time, I guess I'll keep it going. I have guests lined up for, fair number of weeks to come. And my goal with that is obviously, like I said previously, is to advocate music and or people I like. I don't necessarily have to love every aspect of the music to want to bring someone on, because if it's a person I like, it's still that's natural for me. But I also know that we all have slightly different tastes. Though I would never advocate music I don't like. But it might not be only the top 10 bands, because I know that no matter how I try to twist and turn it, not all bands are my top 5 bands, but all bands I would ever bring on here are really stuff that I think is worth checking out, and by people who I think deserve more recognition, or at least all the recognition they already got. So that's that. Jari Kippis, switch to German beer, Vladan. Well, I don't know. I drink people's beer, the little bit sweeter, the weaker Swedish version, and then I think the Guinness is pretty good. But yeah, German beer rule. Swedish beer, normally not so much, but there are exceptions. We'll come back to that a bit later. But that's a long rant. But I do bring all the guests on because I think they work with stuff that I think deserves more recognition, and I think that goes Manu, hello, for a lot of bands in the underground. Been talking about that earlier. There is always this border when something becomes too popular, then does it become less good in my ears? And I've come to, my hypocritical conclusion is that no, they have to change a lot in order to become so popular. So then it's the changed music I don't really like. But then, to be truthful, sometimes I think I'm a bit of a hypocrite, so I prefer stuff that is more obscure. Yeah, yeah, Jane. If all bands were top 5, then I'd run out of guests a long time ago. But I don't even have a top 5 bands, and I think, I don't know if it's just me, but sometimes it's hard to have a really objective view of people that because there's always I would say co-opetition between bands. I mean, we want everyone to succeed, but if somebody does something really good, the rest of us try harder also. So it's like this sort of, we force each other to grow. Sometimes because we encourage each other, sometimes because we make the others feel, fuck, they made something awesome there. We need to top that. So I think that's how progress is made in the underground scene. But sometimes I think, to me, it can be hard to say. I can't really review friends in the same objective way as I might do otherwise, because it is. I don't know. It's sensitive when it's your friends, so I try not to really judge too much. Rather, I mean, you put it out there and you hope other people find it. What I do know is that there is definitely enough people listening to extreme music so that band A does never lose by band B succeeding. It's not like, whoa, now there are no more listeners out there. That is why it's risk-free for me to advocate other bands. It's not like we're gonna run out of, interest in this world. So I think the more bands around me succeed, the more motivated I am to work hard also, and hopefully vice versa. And there is some stuff in the chat. I think I am able to follow the chat, but try me. Feel free to post questions. State something obvious, the fact that my röde mic is leaning into this, or that I have a fat mouse eating cheese here, but everyone should have that. So this is a fat mouse eating cheese. Behind me are some paintings by a good friend, Daria, who lives in Iceland these days. She's Belarusian. Awesome artist. I cannot stress that enough. Everybody should check out her art. She is amazing. So that's why it hangs on the wall, because I truly think it's remarkable stuff. And I'm in the way. In any case, I can post links also. So how are you doing? Say something. You guys are a bit shy. Skål for now. I also know it's this beautiful delay from when I say something until you can respond. 10 seconds, 15 seconds. Depends a little bit. I do have a guest coming on a bit later on, and it's a good friend of mine, long-time friend. And we have toured under difficult circumstances. We'll see what what we will talk about or not. But I'm thrilled to bring him on. Our latest collaboration was in RIKET, where he was the drummer. But his main band since a long time back is, of course, Mephorash. Which I tend to always pronounce in a way that he thinks is retarded. Hopefully I got it right now. Otherwise he'll have to correct me. Fantastic music. It's provokingly good. And I will I will plug it a little bit also. And I really think I wouldn't say that they don't get attention, but they should have even more attention, because I think they are, sometimes you come across bands who do something it feels very natural and that it should have been done 1,000 times before, but they did it and you haven't heard it before. It's not invented, or they're not trying. It just is a natural, it just comes natural. And so like a missing piece that you always figured should have been there. And I think their music really comes across as that. It's ritualistic, it's bombastic, but it's really good. Actually also one of those bands that nail it live. I haven't had the privilege of seeing them on the biggest stages yet, but that time will come, obviously. So it's good to see that things are moving ahead nicely for them. But they are one of these bands that I'm delighted to also help push a little bit, and also maybe I can brain pick him a little bit. And let's see. I mean, I I want to push another project I'm involved with, and it's a pod called Sanatorium. I will post links to that one as well. I do that together with Frederick, the drummer of NETHERBIRD, and a third person, Erin Lynch, who runs a management company called Flying Fox. And that is, of course, a better production than this one because it's not just me talking. It's 3 people talking. But we talk on various subjects, But if you guys are bored, you need some company, you can hear more of my blabbing there. Let's see. Do you know anyone from the band Sveven? Great album this year. Nice if you get blah, blah, blah. Fredrik Stenström. I don't know anyone from the band, but I will listen to your advice and make sure to listen to it. And if I agree with you that they are awesome, I will start pesting them because then more people need to know about it. So thank you so much for the suggestion. Stockholm band. I might have met someone from them. I wouldn't know. This year has been so strange for me because I'm not a super social person these days, but I try to get normally I try to get this out to most underground gigs, and then you tend to come across bands. But I've been a bit slacking for a few years, and Robert Andersson from Morbus Crohn. Don't know him actually, met him, but he is a really skilled person. So I'll look it up. And Vladan, thank you for see if there is any suggestions. I do have some suggestions, and I've been rambling about my band suggestions previously, and sometimes it's been hard to follow. What the fuck did he say now? Because I'm not a native English speaking person, and sometimes I'm just not pronouncing. But I will try with my multimedia setup here. It's so beautiful. I will actually push a little bit of a few bands that I think I might have mentioned them, but now I will try to mention them more in-depthly. First band, of course, that was my guest of last week, Andreas, and his band, Gra. And I will just play a few seconds just for people who weren't there or haven't heard it. Just also to see if you get 1 minute of the song, maybe you will know if it's something that is sort of up your alley or not. So here's a snippet. That doesn't take a genius to understand how fucking good that is. First time I heard them, I mentioned this last week, but fuck it, this is this week, and you guys are here now. I had a friend who came from Germany, and we were set out to see Dark Funeral, but he was really ecstatic, in his middle-aged way as I am. But he's like, yeah, they're really good. And then we got to see Gra, and fuck, it was just one of these performances where I wasn't bored or wanted to go and smoke. I was just sort of immersed in the music. That doesn't happen often. That was the first time I came across Gra. and I urge anyone to check them out. Really fantastic stuff. I think most of you are already aware, but it doesn't matter. He's also the singer of Dark Funeral, who, of course, needs no introduction whatsoever. RIKET. What's better than saxophone this week? Yeah, guitar is much better than saxophone. I don't like saxophones. But I'm not going to stop by just suggesting one band. Here is another band that I think also deserves more attention and that I really think is cool. It's called Ages. And I will play you just a snippet also of this, just to realize how much fucking awesome stuff is available in the underground. Not super new, but new stuff is coming. Here you go. I need to be careful. I think I still infringing on whatever copyright stuff. Okay, welcome also. But that is Ages. I think one of these bands that also, I say that about every fucking band I like, but they really have good stuff and they could do with more recognition. And I think they honestly really deserve it. Check it out. Really cool. And if you think that's too polished, same guy, the mastermind of the band, also is in another band called Livsleda. I will play them next week. More gritty black, also fucking fantastic. But start with Ages and give that a run. And you can always thank me later. Or even more importantly, spread the word about the band. Because in this day and age, as you know, you guys decide which band has a chance of making it or not. It's actually about, if 10 people share a video, it makes a huge difference. And to get that effect by, paid advertising, whatever, bands can't afford that. So if you find stuff, don't be like me and sit and hold it back for 25 years before you share it now, because I've been really like, this is my music. I don't want people to be knowing about it. All right, so Ages, seems like fewer knew about that. Really cool. Check it out. Beautiful looking video also. I asked them if they would like to help us do our lyric video. It's like, fuck no, it was awfully tough to make this one. I'm done. So it's done by the band themselves. All right, then. I will play a band that I think you all have heard, but if you haven't, then you will be most likely ecstatic. I will post the links to that video in a bit. I will just... fuck that. Okay, wait then. This is complicated for me. I will look for it when I play the next thing that you guys hopefully already know about. But if not, this is a band I had the privilege of working with 3 years ago when they were fairly new. It's Grift, also Swedish, fantastic fucking band. I'll play this song while I go and hunt for the link, okay? Oh yeah. Looking at me not being able to sit still, fucking grift. I get goosebumps of that song still, and I heard it so many times. There's a Burzum-esque touch to the vocals that I think is just fucking great. And Eric is such a humble guy, and it was a privilege to work with him. Really nice guy, entire band, really cool. Humble, and then they just go up and own shit. Yeah, I mean, you want to be that band, you want to act like that, you want to perform like that. Really cool. So they do have a lot of success going on in the underground kind of way, but so much more I think is coming. Sometimes they perform as a full set band, sometimes just Eric and his acoustic guitar, and that ability to be able to switch between various formats, I think it's really cool, and it really serves his creation, I think. Another band that just got it right, I think. Blood and Fuck, it's not available on Amazon Music. Sorry about that. I'm so bad at knowing where stuff is available. So internet hunt for stuff, post on Reddit, or what I find offensive about Pirate Bay is that not all our releases are available there. Fucking Pirate Bay. If they're gonna pirate shit, do it right and do it in good quality rips. All right, so I will give another little hint of a band that I happen to know that more stuff is coming with them. This album was coming in 2016. The band is called Hyperion. Have you guys heard of them? Hopefully some of you have not. I think some of you do. They did get some traction with the release. But I think this album is really cool, and one of the guys that I saw them perform in a basement in a suburb of Stockholm quite some years ago, and this guy just blew me away. Guitarist, so super skilled, and then he played in a band called Hyperion I'd never heard before, and they were really good. And he played in another band called Mr. Misery, also really good. And then the fucker played bass, I think, in a third band that evening, and he is so skilled. So I actually recruited him as a live bassist for NETHERBIRD. So we did a few gigs in Russia together, and one in the UK, I think. Extremely talented. what I really like about it is that this band, it sounds, I mean, obvious references are like Dawn, Dissection, that type of stuff, and that should be enough. But also there's a little bit of the very early In Flames, where In Flames were good. And most people have forgotten, but In Flames actually was a good band 1,000 years ago. Almost none of the members from that lineup. Maybe no, I don't think so. Subterranean. In any case, I find that music to be lacking today, and therefore it's great to see that Hyperion is around. I will just plug this for a minute. Well, you cannot listen to that and not get a little bit of fucking In Flames vibe. And how brilliant isn't that? And I mean, 25 years after In Flames stopped being, according to me, very good, these guys who are so much younger than me just pick up the thing and they just keep on, perfecting it. And that album is really worth checking out. It's out on Black Lion Productions, Umeå-based, northern Sweden-based label. Really, really cool also. So give them a spin. Hyperion. There are a few different Hyperions, but only one that is Swedish underground metal that is really good. The rest, I'm sure, are good at what they do, but that Hyperion is the Hyperion. And it's nice to see from your reactions that at least some of you have heard of these guys, and that's cool. Shouldn't say too much, but I know that they obviously are working with things, so they are active. They are not producing album very quickly, but such creations take time, so good stuff will happen. And I will now also plug one band that I really mentioned prior, and they might be Mephorash. Hey, man.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm just good. How are you?
I'm getting fucking goosebumps. Fucking song, man. It's yeah. What
It's
can I say?
effective. Yeah.
It's effective is the word. I mean, goddamn. Welcome to this little. Today turned into more of a, I will recommend stuff instead of just talking shit. So, how are you doing?
I'm doing okay, as everyone else. Still doing my parenting thing. Nothing much has changed, so
No.
to speak, for me,
Yeah.
except for all the gigs.
Yeah, I mean, you're sitting in Stockholm like I am, and I mean, normally would have met up rather than sit in each apartment, but this is where we are currently.
Yes.
But for those that aren't really used to who you are and the background, can you tell me a little bit about yourself and I mean the band you're in?
Yeah, sure. Let's see. So I'm a drummer. I've been drumming since I was 14, I think. Yeah, around that time. Started out with metal because that was the thing I liked, dissection, early dissection. But I don't know if you could say it evolved or de-evolved into jazz, fusion, and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, well.
We all have our phases.
Exactly. Some have an emo face, you had a jazz face.
Yeah. So, but then I got back into metal, met up with Georg 9 from Wormwood, before Wormwood, and we started playing music together, both with the folk metal band Myrketid and Withershin.
Yeah.
And then I joined up with you guys for a year.
We did we met first time I saw you play was with Myrketid when you guys played at Rocks in Stockholm.
Yeah. I was playing with Withershin also that
you were
night.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. You played both bands.
Yeah.
And then we really needed a drummer for the tour, and then it ended up that you toured with and drummed with both Withershin and NETHERBIRD on the same tour.
Yeah. Why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
Well,
that's a thing you do when you're 24.
Exactly. It sounds like a good idea at the time. Yeah. You pulled it off completely. I mean, you were not the one who came home broken and destroyed. It was the rest of us. You seem to handle it pretty good.
I was like, when are we doing it again?
Exactly.
Another tour.
But besides drums, do you play any other instrument?
Yeah, I actually started with the guitar. I still occasionally play, do my own stuff, record. But I think drums were the ones that resonated with me more. My father is a jazz drummer, so the inspiration and the drum kit came from there.
Yeah, that helps. I mean, but because I mean, it is a difficult instrument to pick. It's the hardest to learn how to play. I mean, arguably, at least it's really hard, and it's expensive, and it's it's really the toughest position, and I mean, for all that hard work, you're covered by symbols when somebody takes a photo anyway.
Or if you're a ritual black metal band like Mephorash, you will get covered by other stuff.
Exactly.
It's for the show.
Yeah. We'll get to that point, definitely. But who is your inspiration as a drummer? Besides your father, because obviously, I mean, you can never ignore that fact.
Yeah. Oh, God. That's a good question. It all depends on what kind of mood I'm in.
Yeah.
Like, I like Nico McBrain, for example, from Iron Maiden, but it's like, I can also see why he's not the perfect drummer, and it all depends on what kind of music we're listening to.
Yeah, I
The-
mean, it's at the right gig. There are so many people who can be the perfect drummer. I mean, it's if somebody asks me who's your favorite growler, I can name 15 people who do shit I could never do.
yeah,
And some days they are my favorite, some days they are. I mean, it's a very not black and white territory, I would say.
exactly. Yeah.
But if somebody is considering to start playing drums, I'm not sure if there are anyone in the chat here, but where would you start even these days? I mean, how did you start when you started out?
I mean, I had the privilege of having a house with a soundproof garage where we had drums. So I guess most people can't start like that. So it would be to join like something from school where you can join a rehearsal space. Those are usually available for free for kids.
Yeah.
I think that is like the easiest thing. We played much in the rehearsal space back in the days. I think that's like the base thing. Then you can just play music. Don't try to do the tricks or the advanced stuff. Just start out basic, and it will
Basic songs, yeah.
Evolve eventually.
Since this is a multimedia production of the highest caliber, I don't know. Can you see Fredrik Stenström's comment?
Yeah. How much from jazz have you brought into metal?
Good question.
I would say I try to bring it in as much as I can, with exceptions. Like I'm a drummer that's more on the groove side rather than the technical side. If I can make the music groove, it might sound wrong in metal, but it is. I think it is a point. There is a point to have like a groovy rhythm of sorts.
Yeah, I think in a band like Mephorash, where you play drums and do so, with enormous impact. I think there is almost like a transcendent, like a rhythmical pattern even in long, fast sections. You play them a little bit. You can almost nod your head to it. So there is like some sort of a groove rhythm, even though it's really fast. And it's hard to describe, but it's so completely different from, if a drum machine would do it, it would be like a machine gun, but you do it a slightly more, I don't know, fluent way.
Yeah. Maybe not as precise always, but I try to bring life into it. And I think overall that's what I prefer in music. Like, is there life in this, what they're playing, or is it just static shredding? And I don't mean that shredding can't have life. It's just there is a difference, but it's hard to explain. It's pretty abstract.
It is abstract, but I think the difference is like technical American death metal compared to Scandinavian black metal. It's like two very different ways of playing fast.
Yeah.
And I think this is a question that I don't even know how I would ever answer my own questions, but fuck it, that's why I am asking questions. Damn it. Would you say you prefer to do live gigs rather than studio work? If you have to pick, playing live or being in the studio, which is the most rewarding, you think?
Definitely live, I would say. I think it can be rewarding to see what you have achieved with the studio, but actually being in the studio isn't as fun. I would say it's more of a chore, more of work. Like, no, we have to do this again something was off. Whereas live, you just wing it, so to speak. And there is a different energy when playing live. It's hard to describe that too, but it's like I come into a meditative state, almost, like totally focus on the music, and that is very special. That is why I like playing live.
I mean, the studio is extremely unforgiving, especially these days when you can grid everything. And as a drummer, you're supposed to, not get one thing right in the grid. You need to have every limb right. And I mean, I hate to record vocals, and that's just one thing. You need to get. I mean, it's so simple compared to drums, and still it's nerve-wracking as fuck, I think.
Totally agree. So yeah, I'm usually never looking forward to the recording sessions, but the end result can be nice.
Absolutely. I mean, it's always nice to release an album and hopefully, play those tunes with, some impact live and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put up some comments from the feed here.
Yeah, my drummer started off in jazz. You can feel that big bassy swing. Yeah, that is nice.
And also, first record, here's another. First record of Black Sabbath, you can really hear the jazz influences for the rhythm section. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think the old Black Sabbath records has a special place for me in just that groove alive, but not becoming a funk band, but it's alive and
It's a fine line there, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, your first touring experience, more or less, I think it was on this awful tour that you made. It was a great tour. I had fun, at least.
Yeah.
But since then, you have progressed quite a bit. And when you joined Mephorash, I heard some of the stuff that was, coming, and I could tell, fuck, this is gonna really be great. Which gig has been the most the most empowering so far that you guys made?
I think the one we played in Norway at Inferno Festival, that was a really great gig. I think the feeling was just right. The crowd was energetic. What to say? I think that was a really good gig, to be honest. What else have we done? We played in France recently, or not recently. It was like 6 months ago, 7, 8. I don't remember. Tyrant Fest.
Yeah.
I think that also was a very good gig, even though there were problems at the festival, which forced us to cut the song because the other bands had, the time. It was not enough. We had to cut it.
If you never experienced that, you're missing out. I mean, this is the fucking reality of it all. I mean, you're prepared to your teeth, you rehearsed your shit, and you're ready to go. And then some band before you do encores and fucks up your set. And your fans will only see, oh fuck, they played for a short time. Yeah, they didn't want to. They had to play short.
We had to, because the Galsweird and Mayhem had to. They wanted to play their full sets, of course, and that's what people came for. But but other than that, it was a really good gig. I think.
I mean, that happens. It has happened to all the bands before they came, to the top slot. They've also been there. But fuck those bands that play support slots and can't respect time. I mean, seriously. They got one job, and it's to be done on time. I mean, please.
Yeah.
We've been on that position too. I mean, you get excited, and they also rehearsed and shit. But some respect for the other bands it goes a long way, actually.
True enough.
I mean, it becomes a little bit like I'm bombarding you with questions, but as a festival goer, which is your favorite festival?
Feels boring to repeat the same answer, but I think Inferno Festival is like a step above the rest. I would say it's they really do that one good.
They do
with the arrangement. We also liked Mörkaste Småland when that one was around. Now it's just Slaktmånad. It's they sized down, but that one, the whole how the people who worked at the festival took care of us. That was like we never experienced that, and it's like never experienced that again either. So it was like,
you're spoiled.
yeah, it was very good, I would say.
And those things matter. I mean, as a band, I mean, it makes a huge difference if you feel like people actually, give a fuck.
Exactly. So,
because a lot of people attending festivals and stuff, they think that bands are treated like royalties, but that's not always the case.
Oh God, I should see the truth. Okay, you have this backstage area, but only for 2 hours. Then there's another band. You have to be out quick. You won't get hotel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so we have Jane here. I have to pick this up. Dark Easter Metal Meeting.
Yeah, that was the first cancelled gig for many of us, I think. And I think that one hit the hardest because it was like, fuck, this is reality. We're gonna have to cancel gigs now. Not like that was the worst part. I mean, people are dying still, and it's like where canceled gigs. But still, it's for in my position, it was like it felt bad too when that got canceled.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, we can't always live in this relative space where there are people dying in war. But we want to we want to fucking play. Are you drinking this beer by any chance?
I might be. I might be plugging my own beer.
You should. We should plug it more. You should this is a fucking good beer. Tell me a little bit about Drakon, the Mephorash beer.
Yeah. So
how did it happen?
It was actually when we played at Mörkaste Småland. So they had made the festival beer, and were invited there. So Arvid, the main guy, saw us live and was like, "Fuck, I gotta do a beer with you."
Yeah.
And was like, okay. And then time moved on, and like maybe it won't happen. I don't know. But then I think he contacted Eric again, and so Eric went over to their brewery in Uppsala and was like, "I want to do a beer with all the tastes, all the available tastes you can have, like coffee and tobacco and everything."
Yeah.
So they did, and I think it's good. I'm more for Belgian beers from Belgium. But this is really nice, actually. I'm quite glad how it turned out. Yeah. It's available at Systembolaget still.
And if you place your order now,
you'll get a T-shirt.
Yeah, exactly. No, actually, get drunk. I tried it, and with Frederick, Anderson, the other drummer, we had it this midsummer. I got hammered.
Yeah,
it was a good hammering feeling.
Nice.
Yes, so it works also. It's not just tastes good; it actually does the job. I tried
the important part.
Exactly. I've been talking about bands here, and I know this is like a curveball. Have you come across any band that you think more people should check up?
I'm glad you asked. I think one of the most underrated bands of today is the band Ascension from Germany, black metal band. They released their latest album Under Effer 2018. I think it has old members of Catharsis, and for me, it's like this is legit the best I've heard. It's 10 years at least. I think it's one of the best releases from these 10
Cool.
years. Yeah. So that and it's like I wouldn't say it breaks my heart, but it's like that they're not more popular is, I don't know, concerning. More people should know, I think.
But that is so fucking weird how that works. Sometimes you see bands that rise, and I mean, you hear, oh, okay, it's good, I suppose, but I mean, it's nothing, special. And then you have these bands that do, this rare stuff that get no traction. I mean, that really people should advocate them more, like we are doing now. So, Ascension, make sure to support them. They're almost as good as this beer. Even better. It lasts longer.
Yeah, it absolutely does. What else? Sinmara, maybe. They're pretty popular though, but I think they're a spectacular band from the Icelandic black metal scene. Feels like a fresh wave. The music coming from Iceland. It's like they're not working in the same. What do you get? The same thing that every other country do. It's like they're doing their own thing, and it feels refreshing.
It is actually, and it can always be. I mean, what the fuck is in the water there? I mean, people always ask what's in the water in Scandinavia, but I mean, these days, I mean, how many bands can there be in on that island? But obviously, quite a few actually.
Exactly. So,
and it's not, and they're all good in their own way.
They're all good. Fucking.
But this is also, I spoke about that before. You came on a little bit about the co-opetition. I mean, you cooperate, but you also compete.
Yes.
And I think a scene, if it works well, people support each other, but they also trigger each other to work harder. And I think that is happening in Iceland. Also, since some bands can succeed, it gives other bands hope and also like the drive to work hard.
Yeah.
But there are many good bands from there. I want to push also. Most obvious choice is Misthiuming. Also Audin, I think, is really cool. Audin ran me over at Inferno a few years ago, and I didn't know about them, and they step on, and some bands, it's tight, the sound was fantastic, and they just, like a fucking locomotive.
Yeah.
You get a visitor now.
Yeah, I think it's our grocery order. It's the perfect timing.
Exactly. I won't keep you for so long, but a little bit longer.
Yes.
Now, I mean, you guys, you make, like I said, I mean, some songs that are just goosebump level stuff, but you also, you take your art very seriously.
Yes.
How important is like the other aspect, except besides the obvious, the headbanging music, which is one aspect of all metal bands, but the other parts are also very important. It seems to me, at least.
I would say, in our case, in Mephorash case, it's like everything works together. One way or another, we can't like half-ass one thing and like, oh well, the music will carry it. It's like the lyrics have to work in unison with the artwork and with our live shows, and finally with the music. So it's like it's all connected for us in some way, and it's equally as important. And I would say that it's become more important as the years go on.
Yeah.
Like,
I would say so too, actually, since I've been standing on the sidelines and watching Mephorash, I mean, over the years.
yeah,
And I saw that there was a vision already from the beginning, but it wasn't as profound as it is today. It's never been, it's never been a t-shirt band for sure. It never has
yeah,
been that. But bit by bit, I think more and more pieces have been fit to the overall experience. And I think today, that's besides the song, I think the visual impact of the band is one of the things that is very striking, especially live.
and
Um,
that's the intention, like to create this cohesive image, so to speak.
yeah, and I've seen bands that come after that have stolen quite a few things, actually. But in the long run, I mean, it's a marathon, so the challenge is always to outlast. I mean, you can thieve something,
Yeah.
but then you see these bands disintegrate pretty quickly, also because I mean, it's a marathon, and if you can last it, and it seems like you guys can, and you keep. Also, I mean, to do one of these songs, that would be pure luck, but you can't be so lucky. So in the end, it boils down to something else, and I think it's also Eric's guitar tone is fantastic.
Yes.
It's you can almost tell when you hear, just the guitar work, who it is, and then you come a long way, I think, towards what it's all about. And there are people who can play a billion tones, but the question is, can you play a few tones and you can hear who it is playing? Then something happens.
Yes, that is a big difference.
It is
Less
really
is more. That's some.
definitely. I will just put up a suggestion here. Austin Livsins.
Is it a band or is it
Jane,
album?
tell us what it is. Put it in the chat. These days are, I mean, it's been challenging, but not so challenging. We met for. You had some beers, and I was an idiot and took the motorcycle, so I couldn't beer. But have you been watching any of these live streams that are being posted from other bands?
Honestly, no.
No.
I haven't. It might be because my limited free time and such. I don't know. I haven't been too interested, to be honest. I think that might be a problem with being a musician. In one way, you lose interest in watching other bands too. It's like you work so much with your own, and then
yeah.
So, especially under these conditions, like sitting in the couch in your pajamas or something, it's not the same as being at the place.
No,
I would say.
For me, I mean, no, I agree. I mean, the music we make and that we love, it's so much about moving air. It's supposed to be, a full, every sensory experience. And in front of my laptop, I don't feel, I don't feel threatened by the presence of, a menacing singer. He cannot lean through the screen to intimidate me. It's just a guy on a screen.
Exactly.
From what I've seen, I'd say RIKET are the ones that actually made something a bit worthwhile. I shouldn't speculate in the details of it, but at least they tried to do something a bit different than a camera in a room where we pretend there is an audience. They did something else, and I really I appreciated.
Yes,
most I've seen have been pretty bland.
Agreed. Yeah, we're trying to get something together for this summer, but we'll see what happens. I won't spoil any details yet, but we're trying to do something for this, for the lack of all the festivals that we're missing.
Yeah. I will see. We'll see about that. I won't push you for details because I know, as with everything, there's so many moving parts. So you never know, if or when stuff can happen. I will just put up Frederick's comment here. Never seen as many gigs, but not the same. Obviously, still very good. Yeah, I mean, I get it. I've seen. There was a guy yesterday on my Facebook feed after the Samuel gig, and I was like, Samuel, but for him, it's like, yeah, can finally cross them off my bucket list. My life feels fucking fulfilled. That was his take from seeing, okay.
Yeah.
So for some people, this makes sense. It's just me who's grumpy, and I mean, I get
it might be.
I mean, I get
might be just us.
But I mean, you become a little bit seasoned after a few years. I mean, I wish I was not so hard to impress, but I mean, some of the feelings that I felt when I was 15 have died since playing so much, I think.
I think I have to agree. And I'm not even that old. Well, it's like the magic runs out. And that is a boring, sad feeling almost. Like you won't get the same magic feeling as you did when you were 22 or something like that.
I'd say. I mean, and also I think, but that is true also for most things in life. That is why, like the records that impact you the most, they tend to be shit you listen to when you were like 16, 17, 18. Because I mean, you're wide open to stuff, and the older you get, the harder it is to really get through. To at least to move me, I have to say. But to round this off before you die,
yes. And now everything died. Are you still on?
I am now on.
Oh, yes.
What happened actually? I blame maybe Facebook censorship. I don't know. But in any case, to round it off before you die and before the connection dies,
yes.
what do you have in store? What have you guys been planning now? I mean, you have to sit through this shit, of course, until it passes. But you have some gigs. They're not canceled. They're more postponed, right?
Yeah, and we have some new gigs booked. With the one that is closest will be the 10-year anniversary that we do with Mörkgryning, Wormwood, and Voodus. So
yes.
If that can happen, that is.
Which date was that?
End of November? I don't remember.
I think something like that. It's Slagkyrkan, right?
Yes. So
best venue in Stockholm. That'll be great. I look forward to it. I really hope it happens.
Yeah, but other than that, next year I think we will be playing gigs. We're also working on new material, but it's it will be different from the previous record. That's all I can say. It will be another theme, so to speak. But yeah, so a year full of gigs and then maybe a record, maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, I can say like this. I look forward, and I know the creative force. I mean that is the band, and I know it's going to be interesting. And I also know that you're not going to do the same album over and over. So, but I really look forward to it, and I appreciate you that you took your time to join here. And I urge everyone who listens now and in the recorded version to check out Mephorash, and there is it's just a wealth of good stuff there, and more is coming. So thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, man.
And see
Cheers.
you. Cheers. Boom, boom. And don't know what happened there. I got a glitch in my connection. But that's technology for you. It's so good to actually these days. This is like the sort of interaction you have with your friends. So like you sit on screen. Of course, this is not the perfectly normal setting for a dialogue, but it's for me. This is a chance also to share some of the impressions and a little bit also maybe the stuff you don't hear in a normal interview, because these are people I know or people I I'm a bit closer to than maybe journalists are. So hopefully that is like a dimension. You're also free always to write comments, and normally the guest can always also answer afterwards, or I can find the answer if there's anything. I'm gonna wrap this up. But as you guys have noticed, I do these streams Mondays, the same time each Monday. So it starts at 8 p.m. Stockholm time. And then I go for like an hour. Half an hour is mainly me blabbing and presenting some bands. And then I have a guest joining. And if you can't make it to the live thingy, then I also post the stuff on YouTube, so you can always check it out afterwards. Best way to support this endeavor is basically to share the videos, because that's my only goal with this, is to let as many as possible hear about this music. So that's the way to do it if you want to help me out. The best way to help mankind out right now is to wash your hands and keep the fucking distance, and to stay safe. And after that, it is to be here every Monday until we're through this. So with that, I wish you all a pleasant evening. I will finish up my fantastic brew. And if there's any questions or stuff that you want me to ask, never feel hesitant to write in the event or write it to me personally, and I will ask it. I will answer it. If it's a question to me, I will try to answer it best I can. Or if it's for a future guest, just let me know and I will convey the question. Until then, guys, thank you so much for checking in and for asking questions. Don't feel that you need to. It's just that it helps out a little bit to get some food for thought. And with that, I leave you guys, and I hope to see you guys next week. And now I will do the multimedia thingy. Cheers.